We're in beautiful Bridgetown, Barbados for yet another day in this T20 international series between the West Indies women and the Australians. It's been two lovely nights of cricket, exciting stuff, and tonight Australia seek to blank the West Indies after they've won the 50 over series 3-0, and they lead in this series 2-0 on a settable in another three T20 internationals. This is the trophy that the Aussies will be taking home. The West Indies will be looking to at least get off the mark after a pretty disappointing series where they have not won a match. This is how it's looking right now at Kensington Oval. The Aussies are out there getting ready, so too the West Indians in a little bit of a huddle. And we are hoping that things will go great in terms of a competitive match for this game tonight. Let's go to the middle for the toss. It's a beautiful night here at Kensington Oval, and it's time for the toss. We have Meg Lannon, of course, the Australian captain. Stephanie Taylor, a very special day. It's her 100th T20 International. And, of course, Rion King is the match referee. Heads is the call. It's gone pretty far. It's a big roller. Rion King is just going to check. And it's a tail after all of that. So Stephanie Taylor in her 100th T20 has won the toss. Stephanie, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a bat tonight.
How does the pitch look in comparison to the other two nights?
I believe because of the rain it might be a bit slow, but with saying that, I believe that, you know, Kensington do produce some good pitches, so I believe we'll have some through to it. We just decided we're going to take, you know, first go and put a decent target on the board and, you know, come back in the bowling and defend it.
Team changes?
So today we have Connell and Henry out for today.
And who's in?
Mohammed and Ramarak.
It's your 100th T20. I must ask you about that. How does it feel? 100 T20s, 123 ODIs as well. You're doing the double.
Well, yeah, it's a great feeling to, you know, represent West Indies and, you know, be doing great things. I'm not one of those persons who check those things, so you have to keep me on my tippy toe when it comes down to those things. But yeah, it's a great feeling, and, you know, I'm happy to, you know, racking up all of that for West Indies.
All right, Stephanie, all the best tonight. All right, Meg Lanning. Meg, if you had won the toss, what would you have done?
We weren't too bothered, to be honest. We've been bowling first the first few games, so nothing changes, I guess. So, yeah, really important that we play well again tonight.
You've won the series already, 2-0 on a syllable lead. Have you made any changes in your side?
Yeah, we brought Taylor Valamic in tonight for Ashley Gardner.
Okay, in terms of the pitch, in terms of the surface and the conditions, how did it look in comparison to the other two nights?
Pretty similar, to be honest. We're back on the first wicket that we played the first T20 on, so they've been pretty good once you sort of get the pace of it, so we're looking forward to a good contest tonight. All
right, well, play well. All the best. So the news from the middle is that the West Indies, they have won the toss and they're going to bat first. Bat first they will, and we look forward to that. The West Indies just one change. Hendy Wallace is with me. Hendy, that one change, of course, we look forward to see how Mohammed plays tonight.
Yep.
So first ball. Casey Knight. Kishona Knight, correction. And the West Indies are off and running. Kishona Knight gets off the mark. Hello to Hendy Wallace. A look at the Australian side, just that one change. Vladimir comes in, and Vladimir comes in, and we've also seen that Lanning and Healy, who have been batting so well in this tournament, will perhaps want to continue in that particular vein.
So Megan Shute, who has been very impressive in this series and has really given the Australians a good start. When not taking an early wicket, has been very economical.
Yeah, that's Kishona Knight. She's not had the best of series. Only averages 11 with the bat after 34 matches, 314 runs. She's really got to get some runs under her belt. We saw some exciting stroke play the other night from Brittney Cooper. Edged. And that's going to go down to the boundary for 4. Fortuitous, but the West Indies get their first boundary.
Well, Brittney Cooper was in good form in the second T20 game. And unfortunately, she was run out for the West Indies, and you felt that she was on course for a good knock. So she'll be looking to continue in that vein. A thick edge, just enough to steer it wide of the keeper.
I recognise that Stefani Taylor mentioned that the pitch looks a little slowish tonight. Just a couple of balls there, but seems to have got a bit of swing as well, Hendy Wallace.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be a little bit quicker. I think it's contrary to what she's saying. I think this was played on before, so it probably will come onto the bat a little bit more than you expect. And immediately we are seeing a little bit more carry than we saw in the last game. So that's the first over completed. And the West Indies, that batting lineup really will be asked to do a little bit more than they've done in the first 2 games. 2 changes in the team, the 2 names at the bottom there, Mohammed and Ramarak. Mohammed certainly will add some experience to the spin bowling department.
So Elise Perry is going to take up the attack as usual from the Malcolm Marshall end, like she has done in all the matches so far.
In the last game we saw Perry getting some swing, bowling from the same end, the Malcolm Marshall end. So I think that Kashona Knight will be looking to see if that swing still exists this evening. Perry will be looking to hone in on those pads, on the stumps and the pads. Very accurate first delivery.
Look at that swing, Hendy Wallace. We were speaking about that the last over, so it's from both ends. And Elise Perry, from what we've seen of her, she gets the ball to come back into the left-handers away to the right. So Kashona Knight will have to be on her P's and Q's.
Especially with the full length. Back of a length like that, she just has a little bit more time to make the adjustment. Actually, she'd be disappointed she didn't get some bat on that to maybe nudge it square on the leg side.
That one moved away, she followed it. If you had to critique Kashona Knight in terms of her batting technique and ability, where do you think she needs to improve urgently?
Well, I think that's a perfect picture there. You just see the front foot actually coming down the pitch as opposed to going across. And with the 2 shoulder stance, which she has at the moment, you have to make that concerted effort to ensure that the front leg goes across. See, it's starting outside the leg stump there.
Just a single down to third man. The West Indies power play on Monday night. They were able to get 38, well, for 1. Let's see if they can better that tonight. This lady in picture, Brittney Cooper, played some delightful cover drives and square cuts.
And that innings in the last T20 game would have given her a lot of confidence. She really gave some indication as to what she's capable of doing. And to be quite brutal, I mean, there was not much batting skills on show in the first game. But in the second game, Cooper was one of those persons that really came to the party.
Bang on target. Cooper equal to the task. A very good over there from Elise Perry. Just one run from it. And the West Indies women 6 without loss, winning the toss and batting.
Yeah, playing with a very straight bat. There was a hint of movement from Perry, but not the prodigious movement we saw in the last game. So 2 overs gone, 6 without loss. The 2 batters would have made an assessment as to what is on offer so far from these opening bowlers.
It's going to be interesting to see if there's no real run scoring from the West Indies, if they're going to continue with Shoot and Perry. Edged and caught. Very good catch there from the captain. And again, Kashona Knight is gone for a cheap score. West Indies are 6 for 1.
I really think that's a little bit of a kink in her technique with that 2-shoulder stance, not really getting across enough. And you see very little foot movement on that occasion and playing away from the body, but good catch by Meg Lannon at slip. So Knight goes for 2.
And the lady coming in, Stephanie Taylor, her 100th T20. It's been a long road to 100.
Yeah, it is a long journey. I don't even remember, to be honest. Like, I remember when I went to Ireland the other day, and I was like, yeah, I've been here before. It felt like, forever. But yeah, you burst on the scene and you're all that excitement and energy. Wish I had gotten 100, but it was close.
And once again, she's out in the middle quite early because of a wicket falling within the first power play. That's Meg Lannon's 30th T20 international catch.
That's 2.
Stephanie Taylor has a good opportunity tonight to bat for 100. She's got a lot of time. What would it be? How special would it be for her to get 100 on her 100th?
Bowler's right arm over.
We'll talk a little bit about Stephanie Taylor in a minute. Hope she can keep batting. Good first delivery. One of the things I've recognized with Stephanie Taylor in her career, just looking at her, when she started, she was much bigger. She's got so small. She's really dropped a lot of weight and is looking so fit. It's just a fantastic picture to see Stephanie Taylor. She wanted to get off the mark there. No such luck. I think that's Stephanie Taylor's lawyer calling me.
Well, even with after 100 matches, there'll still be a little bit of nerves there. And one of the things that I observe about Stephanie over her career was how calm she seems to be in the field and when she's batting. And even in that last interview there, Barry, she seemed extremely calm as well.
Her highest score is 90. And that was actually her first T20. Can you believe that? She'll get off the mark now for sure. Just in front of the boundary. And a couple of runs.
And that was a deliberate attempt to run the ball down to the third man. A slightly open-faced blade and well controlled. She knew exactly where the gaps were.
That's a good delivery, well played. Everything looked good there. It was just on the line of that off stump and it cut back a hell of a lot there, Henry Wallace.
Yeah, the inward movement again there from Schutt. Always asking the questions, honing in on those stumps.
This is a good spell from Megan Shute. We've had 3 overs gone. The West Indies stifled somewhat 8 for 1. Well, the West Indies have only been in Australian T20 internationals once, and that was at the 2016 World Cup. Guess who was captain? Stephanie Taylor.
It was a great feeling to win and to lift that cup. In the past, we've been really close. We've been to semi-finals about 3 to 4 times, and to finally win it was, was special. And it meant a lot to me, and I'm sure it meant a lot to the people in the Caribbean.
Right ball.
Should be a couple of byes. I think that just actually wides, is it? Yeah.
Get on leg, please. Too late. Right arm over.
That one just getting away from Perry, not quite as accurate as it should.
Well bowled, well judged. Away movement.
Yeah, that was very good judgment. When the ball would have left Perry's hand, it certainly was on the off stump, and the movement in the ear and then off the pitch was enough for Taylor to leave it alone. But
Bang on target again, Hendy. And this time she had to play at that. She had no choice to play, and good thing she got bat onto ball.
yeah, that was very well played indeed. Very testing delivery. And Stephanie Taylor even got stuck a bit with her footwork. She just had to make the last minute adjustment. No wonder she's smiling. I think she recognizes that was quite a good delivery. A very testing delivery.
Right.
This is really good bowling. I don't think we can underline how good the Aussies have been delivering. 38 in the first power play, the first match, 32 in the second, and now with just 2 overs to go, they only have 10 runs. Where can they get a run from?
Well, there's some testing stuff. Credit to the Australian women. They're really bowling some good stuff at the moment. And then sometimes, you just have to accept that the bowling is good, and you try to weather the storm, absorb that early pressure, and having lost the early wicket as well. Just looking for that scoring opportunity. A bit of width presented, but there was always going to be some risk involved.
The other night there was no third man or fine leg. You remember there was a backward point on the boundary and a sweeper. They've adjusted that tonight, and they do have the third man plugged. It's a good thing.
I think the fact that this pitch might be a little bit quicker may have contributed to that.
That's the over.
Here's a look at the surface. I must tell you, they've done 3 good surfaces in the Saturday, Monday, and tonight's match.
Yeah, and the surface here at Kensington is so compact that even with those cracks that you're seeing there, they don't move away. So you really don't get many balls, any balls really, probably misbehaving when it hits the end of those cracks. So another good surface.
So they have made a bit of a bowling change. Kimmins is coming on. Delissa Kimmins, the 32-year-old from Queensland. She's the oldest member of the team, along with Rachel Haynes.
2. Stephanie, in front of you, please.
Very fit bowler, who actually is a bit stiff as well. We talk a lot about that final in 2016 that the West Indies won. Like I said, I don't want to hammer home the point, but it's the only time that they beat the Aussies, and it was actually the highest total, 149 for 2, the highest total that they ever made against the Aussies as well. So that's pretty significant, Hendy. And that's good running, looking for the single. That's what you have to do when you have a difficult pitch like this. This is the scorecard from 2016. Australia would have been happy with that score of 148. But little did you know that Healy Matthews and Stefanie Taylor were going to come together with a beautiful partnership. I think that partnership was worth 110. And it was a match-winning stand. The West Indies women only lost 2 wickets. Can you believe it? Stefanie Taylor won player of the match. Player of the series, correction. And the West Indies men, they went on to complete the double for the night. A memorable night in Eden Gardens. It was also a very satisfying year for West Indies cricket because the juniors would have won the Under-19 World Cup in February. That match, of course, was in Bangladesh, that tournament. And then the double done in April in India. Oh, that's a delightful stroke. Just over cover, that's gone for 4.
Yeah, getting the hands through that one was Brittney Cooper. Just a bit of a shimmy down the pitch as well, so getting very close to the pitch of the ball and deliberately hitting the ball up and over the extra cover area. So that confidence from game 2 is certainly coming to the fore here.
Again, I can't emphasize how important it is to get in those singles. Running between the wickets is going to be crucial. The West Indies have recognized they need to get some runs on the tins. 19 for 1 after 5.
Yeah, we've seen some aggressive running between the wickets, and was actually having a chat with the assistant coach at the break, and he was saying it's still important that they look to put some pressure on the Australian fielders. And these two are 2 of the quicker runners between the wickets.
So another bowling change is going to be Taylor Vlemick, the young lady from Victoria. She's only 20 years old. This is only her 3rd T20 international. She bowled really well in the 1 internationals, but it was just a bit difficult for her to squeeze her in to start in the T20s. Bang on the money. Very nice approach, Hendy. She's very smooth. Got a bit of pace, Hendy.
Yeah, I was going to say a bustling approach, and seems to have a little bit more pace than you expect. So a bit of movement and a bit of pace as well. That's good carry through to the keeper.
Tell you what, we don't have the speed gun available, but I reckon she's in the 80s, late 70s, everything.
Well, you can see that she's definitely hurrying the batters. That last delivery hitting on the splice of the bat, and you could see that Taylor was a little bit late on the shot.
Top edge. It's going to land in no man's land. That was not exactly there for the pull. And it also had a bit of pace as well. She's got to be careful.
Well, I think she'll find that it's a little bit quicker than the other two opening bowlers, and you can see there from that replay that it was onto her a lot quicker than she expected, and didn't quite get the arms fully extended to play the pull shot.
So this will be the lowest power play that the West Indies have had in the first match. 38 for 5 after 6. The second, 32 for 1 after 6, and with just one ball left, they're going to be 20-something for 1 after 6. Barring a no ball and a 6, of course. Yeah, so 22 for 1. Good pace, good carry. Taylor's got 6, Cooper's got 12 from 12.
Yeah, exciting first over there from Laming. A bit of pace, and no doubt the batters will be having a chat about that. You just have to be a little bit prepared for the quicker stuff.
Batters, change the bowler. Over. Right on over.
So another bowling change. They've given Kimmins 1 over. Now they're going to bring on the left arm spinner from Victoria, Georgia Wareham. She's also right arm leg spin correction. She's also 20 years old. She's played quite a few internationals already. This is her 17th T20.
Her control has been quite good from what we've seen so far. Not a big spinner of the ball, but the control is enough that she keeps at the batsman. Not too many loose deliveries we saw in the first 2 games. And on the money straight away.
Jonathan Blaze, the umpire, I could have sworn he was going to call a wide just now. He shaped up to do something. I sense that they might just try to be a bit more attacking against Wareham, particularly Cooper.
Well, the feeling generally is that the West Indies batters prefer the ball coming onto the bat, and we've seen that the spinners have done quite a bit in this series.
Catch! Yeah!
That's another wicket that bites the dust, and it's the captain, Stefanie Taylor, gone for 6. The West Indies tottering. They're 23 for 2.
I think the feeling is that generally they think that the ball spinning away from Stefanie could be one of her weaknesses, and we saw something similar in the last game. Not quite getting to the pitch of the ball, and be very disappointed in match number 100 to go for just 6 of 19 deliveries.
So Stacey Ann King is the new batsman. She's got an average of 17. She's a very experienced person in terms of the matches she's played. She's played 81, age 36. She's one of the oldest members of the team. She's got a big job here tonight if the West Indies are to post something competitive. Right now, it's all Australia. 23 for 2 after 6.4.
And losing Stefanie Taylor early in the exchanges always sends a bit of a shockwave through the batting lineup. Not very much experience there in that middle order for the West Indies.
Bowler, right arm over.
So Wareham will be happy to have picked up a wicket in her first over. And you could consider it the prize wicket of Stefanie Taylor. Stacey Ann King was guilty of being trying to be a little bit too cheeky in the last game. So an opportunity here where she could really spend some time at the crease. Certainly the camp there would be hoping that she does.
Well, she started again with this sweep shot. She didn't get out to the sweep shot in the last match, but she played it very often and she didn't connect on most occasions. I know Roland Butcher was on at the time. He commented that she should try and at least start to play straight first. And if you are playing straight and you're in control of playing straight, then you should be able to perhaps to sweep. I mean, she favors that sweep shot, but has just not been timing it at all. Eddie Wallace is going to leave me. It's going to be Roland Butcher to resume. Gotta forgive me, Roland, if I sound a bit nasal tonight. Is a bit under the weather. What's the game plan here now, Roland? 23 for 2 after 7. Cooper, who likes to hit it, and King, who has been out of touch.
First of all, good evening, Barry. And it's a very simple situation right now. West Indies, they need to score runs, and they also need to keep wickets intact. Hasn't got on to the best start.
Luckily, there's no one there backward square. She's able to get that single, but again, the pace just hurrying the batsman a little bit.
Yes, and Barry Wilamic bowling with a little bit of pace here. She's actually hammering the ball into the deck. And on both occasions, she's done the batsman for pace and bounce. So, very young. I think she's in her 3rd game or so. She's got good pace. So, Australia seems to have unearthed another quick bowler.
Yeah, not surprising. I mean, they're known for quicks, both men and women. West Indies are known for aggressive batters. Again, stifle for room. No room there to cut the ball. It was short, but it was just onto her so quickly, and it was also on the line of the off stump. She didn't have any chance to go on the back foot and cut.
Yeah, once again, doing the batsman for pace. Good direction, bit of an inward shape on that delivery. But the pace of the delivery really, Stacey Ann King just much too late on it.
Yeah, they've got to find some way to get some runs. The overs are creeping up on them. And the last thing they want is to be 60 runs from 20 overs. That should be meat and drink for Australia.
Yes, and the pressure really on these batsmen at the moment. Against this sort of pace, it would be advisable to just try and drop the ball somewhere and get off strike. Just doesn't matter how they come, and just misdirected. But again, you see the shape of the ball into the left-handed batsman. But West Indies will take them at any time.
She's got the bat onto that and is going to go for 4. It was in the gap. It was a short ball, and she saw it quite early and played a very attractive shot.
Yes, and Cooper, as we saw the other night, plays off the back foot pretty well. This one banged into the pitch, gets up, and Cooper's equal to the task, gets into a very good position and dispatched it over mid-wicket. So she'll be happy with that boundary. Also, the West Indies, they'll be extremely happy with that boundary as well.
So we've got 29 for 2. 8 overs gone. A lot will rest on Cooper's shoulders tonight, because when you look at this batting lineup, along with Natasha McLean, she can hit it. We haven't seen a lot of Renice Boyce, but the other batsmen are not known to be hitters. And with a lot of overs gone already, you don't have much time to play yourself in.
Right down, round to you.
Absolutely, Barry. And looking down the West Indies batting lineup, you don't really see a lot of runs beyond this situation. Apart from these batsmen here, you don't really see a lot of runs against their name.
So Burns, this is her first spell of the series. She's bowling with a cap. She's one of the older members of the team. She's 31, but this is only her 3rd match at this level.
And she's bang on target to start with, Barry.
I was following the county cricket scores today, Roland, and I recognise that Craig Brathwaite got 100 for Glamorgan.
Well, that's great. That'll do his confidence a lot of good.
Also, Miguel Cummins got a 4-4 for Middlesex.
Yes, someone actually sent me, David Goodall from Old Trafford, he sent me a video of Cummins picking a wicket up. Yes, and that really should have been a single, Barry. Went very, very fine.
Over.
Maiden over.
Thank you.
The maiden over. And, first one for Burns and first one of the innings. Very tight over indeed, and the scorecard for West Indies once more again tonight going early, followed by the captain Stephanie Taylor in this 100th game.
So we've had some 6 bowlers being rotated. This is just all too soft, I would have to say, for the West Indies women. Almost at the halfway stage, they've only got 29 runs. Something's got to give pretty soon.
And pretty risky single that one, Barry, but we saw a similar situation a couple of nights ago when the ball was played on the pitch just in that area, and there was a run out, but on this occasion the ball elected not to go, maybe perhaps a little bit on her heels, and an easy single. Much easier single that one. Just feel that backward square leg just on the edge of the circle.
Bang on target again. This is really good bowling from the Australian women. They've got the West Indies women strangled at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yes, this one a little bit flatter, quicker, and beaten for pace. Yes, and the spin bowlers here for Australia bang on target, really putting the West Indian batsmen under pressure. Another tight delivery there.
Just a single, even though it was misfielded.
Another excellent over there by the spinner, and so far Australia really rotating these bowlers in the early exchanges, Barry. We've only had 10 overs bowled so far, but the exchanges have taken place, and right now they've got the West Indies really under the cosh.
Yeah, Meg Lanning discussing there with Burns if she's going to perhaps let her continue, or perhaps what field she's going to be using.
Sit right down, Ro.
Look at the field. They've got a backward point, cover point and a cover, mid off, long on. It's well spread. And still no runs.
Another very good delivery from around the wicket, just wicket to wicket. And Cooper really just sliding onto Cooper, and all she can do is defend.
That's in the air, and she's dropped it. It was a pretty sharp chance. Got to her very quickly, but she was unable to hold on.
Yes, a chance drop there. The ball was hit quite firmly, and the fielder didn't realise the ball would get to her that quickly. She's on the way in, and then found that the ball was onto her in a hurry, and cost the bowler 2 runs.
They need to run that single. She's very deep, even though it's to her left, which is her strong point. Still, it's a single that has to be taken.
Yeah, a bit of luck here for the West Indies. This one hits firmly, but it's gone straight to the fielder, who is just a little bit too far forwards. Gets struck on the chest and gets an easy 2.
That's gone. Very fine. Oh, that's a close one. It's a very close one. Has it gone for 4? Yeah, the umpire has signaled 4.
Yes, and on this occasion, Stacey and King just going for the sweep, one of her favourite shots, and got enough on that. Fielder made a gallant effort there to pull that one back. And a good over so far, this one for the West Indies. A little bit more urgency by these 2 batsmen.
This is a chance for run out. Better throw. Bit of a collision as well.
Okay.
All's well that ends well. 11 overs gone. 40 for 2 the West Indies women. In need of some runs. Australia have got them strangled.
Yeah, much better over that for the West Indies, even though that was a sharp single, and if that was taken there by the bowler, there definitely would have been a run out, but the ball was thrown quite quickly and the fielder couldn't gather it in, so they get a single. West Indies still not in any position to move quickly ahead, Barry. We've had 11 overs, so they really need to get on with it, and Brittney Cooper, she's now starting to get a little taste of the situation.
Hold on, Dave, hold on.
Oh, that was a very ambitious shot. Luckily for her, she was not stumped, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, very ambitious, I think.
Thank you.
I think mine was made up by the batsman even before this ball was delivered. And just a big swing across. Looked as if it held up and turned a little.
Get it. Hold on.
You know, the only cricketer that I've seen that's been able to come in straight away and sweep a cricket ball is Brian Lara. In men's and women's cricket, I can't think of any. Lenka in 2003, Wavell Hines got out ball sweeping, and then Larry came and swept the next ball for 4.
Yeah, that one on the way down the leg side, and I think the batsman will feel that she missed out on that one.
Yeah!
A big swing and a miss. The stumps have been knocked back, and the Windies women continue to look very woeful. 42 for 3.
Yeah, not a good shot by Stacey Ann King, really. This delivery, the ball is going over the wicket now, and really it's just a tossed up delivery. It spins a little, obviously defeats her in the end, but never in a position to play that shot and in that area. So a good wicket there for Australia to pick up their 3rd one, and West Indies, they continue to struggle. 42 for 3. Yes, and McLean comes in now at the fall of that wicket. Just a modest average of 18.47 with a higher score of 57. So she will be hoping tonight that she certainly can improve on that average. Certainly West Indies need her to do that because they're struggling somewhat.
Well, she did tell me a couple of nights ago that if she gets an opportunity tonight, she's going to make it count. Let's see if she sticks to her word.
Well, Barry, I think she's going to have to play well because right now the Australian bowling is very much on top. They're all over the West Indian batsmen.
Wait! Touch, good
She's got it
touch!
through.
Papers!
Should just be
One
one.
touch, go! Hold on.
And Barry, we've seen a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes by the Australians. They've misfielded a couple of deliveries, and the Australians don't normally miss that many balls in the field, and they've missed a couple tonight. Maybe is it because they've won the series already? West Indies batting card once more. That's been the problem for West Indies in all of these matches, that you only see one contributions, and those figures there look very, very similar to the ones we've seen right throughout the series. And obviously the bowling, 7 bowlers used so far, and all have been very economical.
Well, Flying Mink coming back into the attack, and she was very impressive in the one over that we've seen so far. Sorry, 2 overs she's bowled so far. And impressive with her pace. Seems to be quicker than anything that we've seen on show in the series so far.
Come to very slightly. Off stop.
Yeah, she's bowled with good pace and also good control as well. I think that really has been a feature of her bowling.
This could be trouble. Oh, I think a direct hit, that would have been another run out.
Yeah, I think probably there could have been a run up both ends here, really. The ball has gone. Yep, they could have thrown out the batsman's end, but goes the other end, and finally made it home.
Yeah, McLean is generally very busy at the crease and likes to put back to ball. Again, hurrying the batter is Valmink. So there was Cooper, who's been there from the very start, picking up the length, but not being able to execute that pull shot.
Yeah, she puts a lot of body into these deliveries, and she's hurrying these batsmen, hitting the top half of the bat. And she's really added something to this Australian attack.
A bit of aggression there, showing what she's capable of doing.
One for the over.
And banging that one into the surface.
Sure.
Yeah, and good to
That's
see,
it, batter,
good to
walk it over.
see, and getting good height as well as the pace. That's excellent to see.
Oh, I didn't do over. I didn't do over. Normally I didn't do over. Yeah, but I thought any over.
Communication.
Okay.
Cooper just having a change of gloves there. Not to the amusement of the umpire. That's in the gap. And that will go very close to the boundary. Excellent work on the boundary.
Yes, and nearly another mix-up there, which would have been another run-out. In the end, the batsman settled for two. It was a very good shot, actually. It was nicely timed through the onside. Very good fielding also out there on the mid-wicket boundary.
Valmink certainly hurrying these batters, and I think that McLean ordinarily would want to get onto the front foot, but the invitation is not there at the moment. Well, that's the danger when you're bowling so quickly.
That's over.
The edges sometimes can work against you.
Good fortune here for the batsman, beaten for pace, but gets the thick inside edge, misses the leg stump, and takes the fine leg out of the equation. So West Indies gets another boundary, and at the end of that over, the 13th, now it's 51 for 3. But it's good, Hendy, to see someone running and bowl with a bit of pace, hurry the batsman up. When it hits the bat, makes a sound, loud sound on the bat. And Jonathan Blades, the umpire there.
Change our bowler, Brittney. Right arm over.
Graham to continue. I think Cooper would have been disappointed to miss out on that one. Umpire Christopher Taylor, the other umpire, in the middle.
Nicely flighted delivery there by Wareham so far. She's in excellent form.
That's a great shot there from Brittney Cooper. Just a bit of a shimmy down the pitch to get close enough to the pitch. No real spin there from Graham so far, but got close enough to it and hammered it to the boundary.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. The main thing was the use of the feet, getting alongside the ball, and then good extension of the arms. And the timing was such that even though there was a person on a fielder on the extra cover boundary,
and he's given it.
Yep, the finger goes up, and Cooper on this occasion
umpire Healy, or sorry, wicketkeeper Healy seemed to have no doubt whatsoever. But didn't look that straightforward to me. Butch, what do you think?
Let's have a look at this one. It could have been difficult one. Is it pitch in leg stump? It's a fair enough shout. Maybe the umpire, believing that that one was spinning across the batsman, allowed for the spin.
So Cooper goes for a promising knock again for 29, and the West Indies women 55 for 4.
Yeah, and Cooper was looking good once again. I mean, we've seen her play 2 very good innings, 2 different type innings, but what she has shown is that there is some ability in able to bat. And Grimmond comes in now, again, just 20 runs to her name, with the highest score of 15. So she will need to add some support tonight.
Apparently she started for club side as a bit of an opening batsman, and I think then the coaches saw her ability as a slow bowler, so she's probably in the team more so for her slow bowling, but has the reputation of having the ability to bat.
Just a little. That's center.
Well, I think she'll certainly be needed tonight because the overs are ticking away, and the scorecard not looking too good at the moment.
It's a solid looking defense. Well, she's had a look. That's all she needed. One look. And she reckons she's got the measure of it. So that is a monster hit.
Well, that is a terrific strike there by Grimmond. It wasn't the worst delivery. Let's see this delivery. It's a nice flighted delivery. She just cleared the front foot and deposited that one way beyond the boundary. So she's very happy with that shot.
Well, what a confident way to get off the mark. I guess very little nerves there, or maybe it's the nerves that brought that shot out. So Valmink to continue. This is her final over. I guess we all wish that she had a couple more. Maybe not the West Indies women, but it's quite entertaining to see her really pushing off some wheels. Well, McLean prepared to take on the short ball. Not sure how successful she would be at it, but seems keen enough to take on that short ball.
Yes, and bowling with good pace, and again this one is put into the pitch, makes good height. And McLean trying to swing it away on the onside, doesn't get a good contact on it.
I don't know how often Grimmond would have seen something like that, but a white call by umpire Blades, and then one for the over. I don't think she'll be seeing this too often.
Yes, nice sharp delivery to welcome the new batsman.
Well, it wasn't a great short ball, but at least it made a statement. And the follow-up delivery, and Grimmond really demonstrating that she's ready for the fight, getting right behind that delivery.
Yeah, she played it nicely. She got into a pretty good position, stayed behind the ball, and then just defended it nicely.
A little bit of a pose behind it as well.
Yes, and Grimmond here showing good respect to the fast bowler, getting right in behind the line. And just like to see how she plays if it's pitched up at this pace. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Well, she better be ready for it. Well, she's going to fight fire with fire. I think there's just a game of two halves here for Grimmond. It's a block or it's a hit.
Yes, if it's in my half, then this is what happens. She's taken a half a step, got enough on it just to get it over the field at mid-off. But she'll take them anywhere.
Interestingly enough, that Grimmond is prepared to bat outside of her crease, so definitely not backing down here. Good reaction indeed, as we were all looking for it, the full length delivery, and Grimmond was equal to the task.
Yeah, fair to Grimmond. I think she played this one really well because it was zeroing at the stumps at a good pace. And the previous deliveries have all been short, but she had the presence of mind. She had the presence of mind to get the bat down.
Over.
Well, that's the end of a very impressive spell from Valmink. 4 for 23. And I think that she's certainly entertained a few of us here tonight with her pace.
Yes, and she was very impressive. I liked her effort. The pace was up, and she was prepared to run in hard and put the ball in the pitch. And she certainly caused a lot of discomfort to the West Indian batsmen. No doubt about that.
You can see she put some effort into it there because it seems a little bit winded. But all eyes on Grimmond now. As it's going to be more pace.
Change your bowler, right arm
Looks
over.
like Schutt coming back into the attack. But on this occasion, it seems as if the keeper is going to stand up to the stump. So putting a little bit of pressure on Grimmond there, who has shown the tendency to bat outside of the crease.
Yeah. I shoot up.
And that's been the impressive thing about the Australian keeper in the last couple of matches, that have not been afraid to come up under the stumps. You know, could easily stay back.
I think she's got enough of that. Didn't appear as if she timed it that well, McLean, but she timed it well enough.
Out here.
Yeah,
Keep at it.
Really, it was like a golf shot. Really, she just came across the ball, and then with a fade, the ball faded away, but struck it superbly.
I will Schutt respond.
Catch that one.
Could be a wicket, slow delivery, and totally deceived. And she's actually spilled it. But that is unbelievable. One of the best fielders in world cricket dropped an absolute sitter, Meg Lanning.
This was an absolute sitter down. Oh. I wasn't even sure that she got a hand on it. It'd be
Keep at it.
let's take another look at this. Did she get a hand on it? She's playing to the onside. It goes up in the air. Inconclusive.
We just had an interesting stat there from our statistician there, Roland, that we spoke about Healy standing up to the stumps. Ironically, she has more stumpings than catches. She has 42 stumpings to 31 catches. That's in the air for a long time. Someone is getting under it. Will the catch be taken?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Comfortably taken in the
That's
deep.
over.
So that is the end of McLean. Just going for one big hit too many.
Yeah, success for Schultz. Short delivery, and McLean trying to Smash this one into the pitch. Gets big on her. Goes up in the air. Fielder settles nicely under it. Takes it above the head, above the eye line. Excellent catch. And relief there for Meg Lanning, really, because she dropped. McLean goes 1-4, 1-6. And a little entertaining innings. And the new batsman is Ghaznavi. Just 19 years of age, and I think she's been impressive in the last 2 games, Sandy, for us. She certainly bowled well. I thought she batted well, and good find for the West Indies.
I concur, but she, she looks like she enjoys her cricket as well, which is, we all say, is probably one of the most important things, that when you get out there to enjoy it. But you would think that once you put on that maroon, that you really should be enjoying it. So what we've seen is that she's keen to take on the Australian fielders. So she's been running quite well between the wickets, and Grimmond actually is quite quick between the wickets as well. So we'll see how they treat this. Just 4 overs to go.
Yeah, Reardon's been very good in her 3rd over, just conceding 11 runs, and she's got 2 wickets. Yeah, nicely flighted delivery, and I think that's why Reardon has been able to have this success. Indeed, she's been prepared to throw the ball in the air and getting some generous flight and spin as well.
Yeah, just to get down the lower order is always difficult for the batters to resist going for that big hit once the ball is tossed up.
Yes, Wolfie, very good, bud.
Absolute beauty. She's really enjoying her work tonight in the 3rd over.
Don't see very much variation from her, but there's the control of the leg break has been quite consistent and consistently good. It's another one in the air, and I think it's going to drop safely. So not so sure the field in the deep picked it up initially, and took a while to get there. So it's Perry in the deep, is it?
Yeah, I think Perry decided very early that I'm going to pull out of this one. Either she didn't pick it up, but luck for Ghaznavi.
Grimmond has struck that one powerfully, but there's some protection there in the deep. Just a little bit untidy there, the Australians, for a bit. So that's over number 17 completed, and the West Indies women 77 for 5.
Yeah, and a little bit of a fight back. I think the Australian tonight, their feeling has been a little bit ragged. And let's have a look at the West Indies card here.
JJ.
Just the players getting to double figures. Cooper got 29, McLean 15, and Grimmond is on 13. And the rest of the batsmen really struggling against some very good Australian bowling. And I think tonight, Barry, the Australians have been a bit ragged in the field. They have very high standards.
Yes, surprisingly so.
Oh, catch that one.
That's gone quite high. This is an opportunity for another catch, and she takes it this time. So we were talking about how ragged they have been, but they didn't fluff that one. Another wicket goes down, 77 for 6.
Yeah, and a catch, good catch taken. And let's watch this delivery. Yep, tossed up, goes for the big one. It gets it high in the air. And Barry, watch the technique of this catch. A good technique under the lights. And they tell you when you're fielding under the lights, Barry, try to catch the ball above the eye line. And perfectly executed on that occasion. And Grimmond, just with 1-4 and 1-6, makes her way back to the pavilion.
Why above the eye line now, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the reason for that, Barry, is that once the ball passes the eye line, for some reason at night, you tend to lose sight of it. So they advise you to really catch the ball above the eye line. And you'll notice that if you watch any of the cricketers, Boyce comes in now with just 18 runs to her name's Boyce with a top score of 12. Not a great average. But if you watch, Barry, you would find that most catches that are dropped at night are by people who catch them. Once again, just watch the fielder.
Down. Down.
Well, Boyce promised a lot in the first match. She actually swung a free hit for 6, and then she got the next ball.
Yeah,
so
we're just having a look at this catch again, Barry. Look, up above the headline, eye line, well taken.
So even though Australia have been ragged, they still strangle the West Indies. They should run to here. And even though they came back for a second that should have been straightforward, she's been run out.
Yes, and very lazy running there by Ghaznavi. You will find, Roy Wilkinson, that she was not really pushing hard for that second one. She was in cruise mode and got surprised as the throw came in and really out of shot, and should have made it there really, because as you said, it really was an easy single. But West Indies, they found a way again to lose another wicket, and that really has been, you know, Ghaznavi goes for 2, and that's been the way West Indies have played in this series. They've always found a way to get out. And on this occasion, another run out. Fletcher? Fletcher? Yeah, Fletcher. Yeah, Barry, and Fletcher, obviously, again, not too many runs to her name. Her score 13, and again, an average below 10. So whatever you can get from her now, you will take. But just getting back to what we're talking about at night, catching the ball. You know, if you watch most games, you'll find that most of the outfield catches are dropped when people catch the ball below the eye line.
Afi Fletcher's the new batter.
Down. Well done. Finish here, Jono.
I really felt, though, Roland, that the West Indies should have bowled first tonight.
Catch that! Yeah!
What a catch. What a stupendous catch.
Well, I said, Barry, that the Australians were ragged in the field, but I think this really is. Yeah, the batsman looking to play this one on the onside, gets it off the outside edge. What a fabulous catch. Diving away to her right. Absolutely delighted with that effort. And another wicket goes down. Fletcher didn't trouble the scorers, just the 2 deliveries. And West Indies 78 for 8, and scores seem to be getting less by every game, Barry. As Anisa Mohammed, who's been recalled to the side now, comes in again with an average of 7.38. Her score 20 in her 102 matches.
This is now Jonathan's best performance in T20 internationals.
Bowler, right arm over.
Previous best was 3 for 25. She's now got 3 for 5.
Gosh, go back off!
This is in the air again, and she's dropped it.
Hold, hold, hold!
That was a little bit more difficult because she was actually backing, and she didn't get a chance to hold on to it.
Yeah, again, flicking on the onside, it goes up in the air where she's stretching. Just cannot get her hands under it.
That's in the gap, just a single.
Yes, and Boyce opening up her shoulders there. Just getting it off the outer half of the bat.
This way, middle. Stay back here. Middle stop.
And you asked a question earlier, Barry, about whether West Indies should have batted first. I'll answer them.
I'm listening.
Yes, just watching that delivery there by Wirram. Yes, I think they could have done something different. Give the bowlers a chance to bowl first.
Straight into her hands and another wicket. Sharp chance as well. Taken there by Cummins.
Yes, and Mohammed really, again, didn't trouble the scorers. First attacking shot. Yeah, again, we're tossing this one up. Goes for the sweep. It makes good contact. Just the one fielder behind square on the leg side. Picks her out. And Cummins takes the catch, and Wirram gets another wicket. And she also has excellent figures of 3 for 14.
Well, I tell you what, her previous best was 3 for 12. So she's got one ball left. She could get her previous best here by getting the 4 for.
Well, sure. I mean, Ram Harak comes to the crease now, trying to prevent Wirram from picking up her best figures. And no great figures at this stage.
Come to
But
it slightly.
I think the spinners for Australia tonight really have been excellent. They've done a very good job.
Stay here, correct?
As West Indies
Bowlers
now
right arm over. One ball
79
remaining.
for 9, and the progression, Barry, from the first game with runs less and less.
Over.
So 19 overs gone, just one left if they do make it out. But there's 79 for 9. This is the last wicket. And that's actually the last ball.
Yes, but Wirram completes her spell. So she can be happy with her night's work, really. Excellent figures. And she's picked up 3 for 14, so that's the one. Good contact, but pick the fielder out at deep square leg, who takes a nice catch.
Too much. Left arm roll.
Yeah, floated delivery, and Boyce, that one nearly sneaked through. Yeah, and Barry, really, the disappointing thing really is this delivery is just hurrying on to the batsman. And Boyce.
Thankfully there's a run, because I was just wondering if we could have seen the last over of a T20 match being a maiden. I remember, I think it was in Florida this year, I think that one of those T20 matches, the last over was a wicket maiden. Am I correct?
Yes.
That's a very strange occurrence.
Get away.
Far less a T20.
That's it.
So it's just one run off of this over. 2 balls left.
Shooter. Wolf.
Just lofted that. Will fall short. It's Erin Burns at the mid-off area, and they'll just get 1 run.
Yes, let's see what Boyce will do with this final delivery.
Oh, that's gone high. but not far.
Yes!
And
All out off the last ball. Catch there taken by Georgia Wareham.
Time.
And the West Indies have been bowled out in exactly 20 overs for 81.
14 minutes.
yes, and this one down the pitch. Good connection, but this again a very good catch in the deep. Never looked like dropping that at any stage. Wareham, who's had a good night, particularly with the ball, and now he's taken a good catch. Boyce goes. So West Indies all out for 81. And Australia not at their best in the field, but still being able to dismiss them for 81. Let's have a look at the scorecard, Barry. And the reading doesn't make good reading.
Not at all. Just another top score from Cooper, who got 39 the other night when she top scored. Now she got 29. A bit of a start from McLean and Grimmond, but the other batters have just been a bit of a disappointment. No one putting their heads down, and runs were hard to come by. It was just a struggle, to tell the truth. This the first wicket. That was Kaishana Knight, caught at slip by Meg Lanning. Then in her 100th T20, Stephanie Taylor not getting firing at all. She was also caught for just 6. Horrible shot there from Stacey Ann King, sweeping across the line and was bowled all ends up. The 4th wicket went with the top scorer, Brittney Cooper. She was out LBW. The score on 55 for 4. And then some 20 runs later, Natasha McLean, who lashed her way to 15. She was out caught by Wareham off of shoot. Grimmond then fell. And the wickets just continued to tumble from there. It was a meek surrender from the West Indies women. Ghaznabi, a very careless run out. Should have been a comfortable 2, but she just did not ground, and it was a close call in the end, where the umpire ruled that she did not get her bat down in time, and she was a run-out candidate. Affy Fletcher fell to a spectacular catch. It was really stupendous. That was Jonathan, a left-hander, diving to her right, her weak side, but she really picked it up well. And then, talk about sharp chances. Anisa Mohammed, she got hold of this one, but it found the backward square coming into business, and it was the 8th wicket down. Then Boyce played a big shot, almost went all the way, a bit like Carlos Brathwaite against New Zealand, caught on the boundary, I'm afraid, didn't go for 6. Wareham taking the catch on the boundary, and the women folding for just 81 from 20. Career best figures for Jonathan, 4 for 7 from 4. How well did she bowl?
Yeah, she bowled really well in her 4 overs, picking up 4 for 7. Excellent figures. And the support by Wareham, 3 for 14. And I think the Australia, they used 7 bowlers, but they all did their job. And were able to dismiss West Indies for a below par score of 81.
Well, Australia's lowest score in T20s is 73. So the West Indies will have to do something very similar to limit them for 82. Less than 82 if they're to win this encounter. We'll be back in exactly 10 minutes as we have a resumption in this final T20 International on this series in the West Indies. Welcome back to Bridgetown, Barbados. A bit of a shot there of the East Coast. The water's very rough, but they're much more serene in the boatyard in Bridgetown. Nice time to go for just a boat ride and look at the glass bottom boat, see the lovely fish. But forget all of the shenanigans, we're here for cricket. It's the second half of the third and final Women's T20 International, the West Indies women versus Australia women. The Aussies are taking home that trophy, having an unassailable 2-0 lead, and they look to go 3-0 up tonight after limiting the West Indies for a very paltry 81 in exactly 20 overs. The players are just about to make their way onto the field. Stefanie Taylor, of course, a lot hinges on her tonight in terms of her special night. Before the game started, there was a great presentation for Stefanie Taylor. The Jamaican celebrated her 100th T20 International. Stacey Ann King surprised her with a shirt. Not just any shirt though. This shirt on the back of it has 100. And Stacey Ann was also able to give a bit of a speech. A very special moment there for Stefanie Taylor. Yeah, there it is. Taylor 100. She was very appreciative, and so too were the other members of the squad. A big moment. You don't often get 100 matches and 100 caps for your side. But Stefanie Taylor has done it tonight. Hello, Henry Wallace.
Hi there, Barry, and yes, quite an achievement for her longevity.
Anisa Mohammed was also recognized for her sterling efforts. She's also passed the 100 mark. She made her 100th appearance against Pakistan. That would have been in January 2019. There was no ceremony then, but they made amends tonight and certainly gave her her shirt as well. So two veterans in this match. They'll be looking to do something special for the West Indies. They both bowl. They're both off spinners. And I'm sure that all these high fives are the positive energy that they need to try and come now and limit Australia, who have walked past all of the targets so far for 82.
Yeah, a very daunting task here for the West Indies women. And the Australian openers make their way out to the middle. They will be extremely confident. So Lisa Healy and Beth Mooney, the two openers. Lisa Healy doing extremely well in the last one-day game. Beth Mooney will be looking to make a contribution now. She's not really got going at all, and she has a best of 117 in just 37 matches. Average of approaching 29. And Lisa Healy, she's got a best of 90, and she is just 3 shy of 100 matches, Barry.
So it's going to be Shanita Grimmond. She's going to open the attack tonight. West Indies women trying something different. Shamila Connell is not playing. She usually opens the bowling.
Well, the two opening bowlers are missing, both Selman and Connell and Henry, Chanel Henry. So, different attack. The off spin of Grimmond.
White ball.
That's a wide first ball. When you have a few runs to defend, you got to keep it tight. Can't afford these extras.
Well, Elisa Healy has shown the tendency to get on with it. And we see Captain Taylor being very meticulous with the field placing. Remember, only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle.
That one is pulled in the gap. That's gone just 1 bounce over the boundary. That was almost a 6, but it's actually gone for 4.
Way too short there from Grimmond. And maybe having some difficulty with the grip in the new delivery, but Healy needing no second invitation to put that short ball away.
White ball.
Should be another wide. It is. So Grimmond is all over the place. Pretty expensive first over so far. She's only delivered 1 legal ball. They're going to sneak a single there. They get it quite easily. If you had to just whisper in the ear of Grimmond, what would you tell her now?
Well, she's been a little bit too short for the most part. She's not a big spinner of the ball. I'm told that she depends more on a bit of drifts. So to do that, she probably has to get a little bit closer to the stumps and bowl a slightly fuller length.
Right arm round to you.
Well, that's a perfect line of length. I would advise her to keep it there as much as possible and strangle Mooney, who likes to free her arm.
You know, that line doesn't give her much opportunity to free the arms, as you mentioned, bowling a very tight line between wicket and wicket to the left-hander from around the wicket.
Now, you see that single there. West Indies women were not taking that single, which tells me that perhaps they're not as fit as these Aussie women. They're very, very fit.
I don't know if it's the fitness. I would say they're quicker. And I think that the Australian fielders were much quicker to the ball.
Smash that through the covers. That deserved a 4.
Yeah, I think the beauty about that shot was the use of the feet. The use of the feet and staying leg side of the ball. So what that did was to open up the offside play, and perfectly executed there by Elisa Healy.
Keep tanking, Grim, keep tanking.
And again, she's gone over the covers. 4 more runs. The Australians are racing towards this target.
That's over.
Healy's got 13 already from 4, 16 without loss.
And this is repetition. And this time just waiting a little bit longer to pick the spot to get under the delivery and hitting it over the infield. So that was pretty good batting again by Elisa Healy. And maybe to open the bowling with the new ball, with the fielding restriction, maybe a little bit too much for young Grimmond. So very positive start indeed. Just 1 over, and look at that batting lineup with Meg Lanning to come, Lisa Perry, Haynes, Burns, Jonathan. So very powerful indeed. And we did hear from Meg Lanning in one of the post-match interviews that they were probably a little bit tentative in that first T20 game, so they're looking to play a little bit more positive. And so far we've seen that in this innings, and certainly we saw that in the last game as well.
Keep working, Skip, keep working.
So she didn't come good with the bat tonight on her 100th appearance.
Thank you.
But Stephanie Taylor is going to try her luck with the ball. She's no spring chicken with the ball either, I can tell you that. She's got 84 wickets. Another good single. The West Indies women also have to show a bit of urgency in attacking the ball, making the Aussie women think a little bit about taking that single, which they're getting quite easily.
And Barry, again, I come back. I think it's the speed to the ball. I just don't think that the West Indies women have the same sort of speed to the ball as we saw from the Australian women.
That's cut in the air, but it's gone down towards the boundary. Healy once again. 17 she's got.
Keep working, stop, keep working.
Yeah, far too short there from Stephanie Taylor. And again, you see the deliberate attempt to hit the ball over the infield. And doing that extremely well.
Wait. Well done, Kai. Keep working, girl, keep
Four
working.
fours already for Elisa Healy. Seems to be in a hurry.
Oh, a ball.
That's much better delivery. Even though she got the single, that's better than bowling short or too full.
And that one just seemed to straighten with the arm as well.
Keep working,
Seeing that one going from leg to off.
Keep working.
Putting pressure on the fielders. It was firmly struck, but there was Beth Mooney running on the shot, as they would say.
Would you call Stephanie Taylor all-rounder? Oh, that's an edge. No one at slip. And it's gone for 4. So Healy races on now to 22. It's 27 without loss. And I asked the question, does Stephanie Taylor consider herself an all-rounder?
I'm a batter who could bowl a bit. I remember speaking to a player, and I said to the player that I don't consider myself as an all-rounder really. And the player looked at me and be like, "What? Are you serious?" So I don't know. I don't think I put so much emphasis in my bowling as much as how I put in my batting.
Well, I think she's just being a bit modest there, Barry. I think that she's a genuine all-rounder. I think, if anything, I think the last point she made, that she puts a little bit more emphasis on her batting more so than her bowling. But she's a more than capable bowler. Again, she has been very reliable for West Indies women with her bowling. And I know a lot rests on her batting, but I would definitely consider her a genuine all-rounder. But here's Anisa Mohammed. She's got a reputation as a frontline bowler.
Yeah, I was surprised that she didn't start. I mean, someone you've got in your armour like Anisa Mohammed, 115 wickets. They don't walk around. And I was just a bit surprised that she's not in every first 11 for the West Indies. Perhaps it could be a fitness issue.
Well, she was not in the squad initially for the 50 overs. And I think it was, I don't know if it was the unavailability of some of the more experienced players. She certainly has the experience, but she's never let the West Indies women down with the ball.
Keep working, Trini, keep working.
Obviously having some difficulties there with the moisture. But I agree with you, Barry. I mean, she would have been my choice as well if we were going to open the bowling with a slow bowler. I think she has the experience to bowl the newer ball, to bowl spin, given the fielding restrictions as well.
Smashed. Going once, going twice. Sold for 6.
Keep working, Twinny, keep working.
Full commitment in that shot. Got it on the full, and that was only going one place, over the boundary.
The match is almost coming to a close. We're only into the 3rd over. Someone cheekily said that she hit that as hard as her husband bowls. Of course, her husband is Mitchell Stark. That left arm quick from Aussie as well. She said at the presentation ceremony the other night that he calls her after every match, gives her a rundown of what he thought about her display. That was her 20 of 6 in T20s. She scored over 200 boundaries. I should say she's collected over 200 boundaries. And if anybody's watching and saying, wow, where does Barry get all these stats from?
Keep working, ladies, keep working.
I don't have them, but Harold Eastman, who he does, he's really good. He fuels me.
And that's all he does, really. You know, he just plays with numbers.
He's a numbers man. And that's another big hit. Another 6 there for Elisa Healy. And Australia have raced to 40 without loss after 3.
And this is such good batting because the fielder is in the deep, is that long off. And you could see Healy actually getting close enough to the ball towards the offside to hit that area, that vacant area in the long on position. And even if she doesn't time it well, there's such a wide open space that there's no risk really in that aerial shot. Excellent batting.
So Healy's got 34 from 13. She's certainly racing. We have to check with Harold to see if she does get a 50, if it perhaps be one of the fastest T20 50s in women's cricket. Mooney is just happy to be there and supporting well. She's only faced 5 balls, has got 4. But you don't need to do anything special when you've got someone at the other end like Healy hitting the ball so clean. Just continue to support her and the match will be over very quickly.
Absolutely. Well, Healy is actually striking at 261. That's a strike rate, so Mooney could just be a spectator.
They've got the boundary plugged. Stacey
Keep working, ladies, keep working.
down there. Afi Fletcher has been a pretty good bowler for the West Indies women. She's been very tight, hasn't picked up a lot of wickets, but she's been able to have a pretty good economy rate.
Well, just going on the frequency in which they're drying the ball would suggest that, you know, it's not as comfortable to get that grip, and as a wrist spinner as Afi Fletcher is very important to get a very good grip on that ball to bowl over the wrist.
That's going to be 4 runs again, and I'm surprised that they've moved the sweeper head. I thought they would have kept the sweeper for Healy, who's obviously hitting over the top.
Yeah, a bit surprising there because again, no real risk in that shot because she's hitting with the spin. The boundary riders actually are on the leg side, which you're sort of expecting the batter to hit against the spin. Healy has shown that she's very adept at playing inside to out and playing with the spin on that occasion, so that was a pretty safe shot indeed.
Well, she's got the second fastest T20 50 in 21 balls versus Ireland at Providence in Ghana. That would have been in the T20 World Cup, I reckon. She's lucky to get it. She's lucky to get away with that, I can tell you, because it was a poor delivery. It was short, it was down the leg side, and she just made a mess of it.
I think Afi Fletcher there was not wanting to go wide of the stumps again, trying to get a little bit too straight. And yeah, she's lucky to get away with that long hop.
Has she taken that? She's claiming it. And she's also walking. So a wicket there. Afi Fletcher, I told you, she has been special and she's been able to break this rapid partnership. Healy's gone for 38.
That's a good wicket for West Indies women. It was a little bit slower from Afi Fletcher and a bit of bounce as well. And there was Healy maybe having a little bit more time to think about it. Maybe wasn't as careful to try and get on top of the bounce to hit the ball down, and succeeded in getting the top edge, and a good tumbling catch there by Ramnath at the short third man position. But a very entertaining knock from Lisa Healy. She goes for 38 and the Aussie women 45 for 1.
So Elise Perry comes to the crease. Pretty healthy average of just under 30, 29.97. Highest score of 60 not out. She's got 1,079 runs.
Right arm over, 2 to go.
What all wrongly she is for Australia.
Yeah, you break the partnership and then someone like Elise Perry comes to the crease.
Keep working, girls.
And she gets off the mark straight away.
Yeah, we said that they're constantly drying the ball there, so it must be some, there hasn't been any rain, so it must be some dew.
Yeah, you would always expect that in these night matches. This is the wicket, Hendy.
Yeah, you see just a little bit of extra bounce, and I'm not sure that Healy was as committed enough to try and keep that one down, but that's a good tumbling catch there by Ramnath.
Center.
So yet another change from the Joel Garner end.
Change the bowler. Left arm round to you. We're already at 2 minutes now.
It's going to be Stacey Ann King coming into the attack, and Stephanie Taylor, as usual, being very meticulous and being very clear with her bowler what the plan is, and it's all down now to execution.
Oh, this could be a close run out, but it was not to be. I thought that came off the bat, but it was actually the pad.
Yeah, signal leg, but it didn't go very far, just a short fine leg. You wouldn't normally expect that you could get a run there, but such is the aggressive running. And it didn't hit the stumps, but I think even if it did, I think that Perry would have made it quite comfortably. Or Mooney rather would have made it comfortably. We'll be looking for 2 on this occasion, and I think they'll get it quite comfortably in the end. Grimmond in the outfield there seemed to be labouring around the boundary. It took her quite a while to get there, and not the strongest of throws either. And sometimes the temptation for the captain is just to bring the boundary fielders maybe 5 yards or so off the boundary, but these Australian batters hit the ball so well and so firmly that anything, you know, either side of the field on the boundary can become very challenging. There we go. Yeah, just bludgeoning that one over the infield. Not a bad delivery at all from Stacey Ann King, but the intent from Mooney was all out aggression. So just another 9 balls or so before the fielding restrictions are relaxed, and it seems like if the Australian batters are trying to take full advantage. Could be an overthrow. That's rather unfortunate, but we see it so often. And if I have my way, Barry, that's one thing I would change in the rules. I reckon after a direct hit should be a dead ball. Always advocated for that. So you're basically punishing the fielder here for brilliance.
I don't know. Because if you miss, no one's backing up.
No issues with that, but direct hit, I reckon, should be dead ball. So not a bad comeback from Stacey Ann King under the cosh in the early part of the over, but finished well.
So 55 for 1 after 5. I'm going to leave you, Hendy, with the capable hands of Roland Butcher.
That's very kind of you, Barry. And the bowling for the West Indies women, just a single over for the 5 bowlers so far, and that first over going for 16 from Grimmond. And Stephanie Taylor, she had a go as well. So the Australian batters not allowing the West Indies women to settle at all. Afi Fletcher, not surprisingly, will continue. She's been the wicket taker and the one that most looked likely to take a wicket. Welcome back, Butch.
Yes, India and Australia once again a very quick start to their innings. Certainly not hanging around with this total.
Very well bowled. I think slightly deceived was Perry there in the flight. Maybe when she looks at that, probably should have been forward. Excellent use of the feet and just manipulating the ball, maneuvering the ball wide of the fielder at mid-on.
Yes, got to it on the full and then really just guided it. And I thought the fielder that bit on could have done a lot better there, Hendy.
Keep working,
keep
working, keep working, girls.
And another boundary.
I thought she was beating for pace. It actually got there so quickly. Well, that was a full bunger, and Perry didn't need any second invitation.
Yeah, this really is a gift of a delivery. Nice high full toss. And given the treatment there by Perry, gets the maximum.
So we have the drying process again with the bowler. So clearly not getting a secure enough grip. Now that is a top shot. Transfer of weight onto the back foot and playing the beautiful back foot drive.
Yeah, this is a lovely shot. First of all, press on the front foot, then back, and with perfect timing and placement.
But Perry is quite a tall player as well. I mean, normally that sort of length and bounce, you see a lot of batters trying to play the horizontal bat shot. but she stayed with it, got very tall, and played it with a vertical bat. Very attractive shot.
Yeah, the important thing is, Andy, is that she judged the length very well and then got herself into a very good position.
Well, decent finish there by Fletcher. So that was 6 overs gone, the end of the power plays, and Australia women 69 for 1.
Yes, and racing towards a victory here, Australia at 69 for 1. And let's have a look at the batting card here. Healy, the one person batsman out. She made 38, very quick time, 16 balls. And Mooney is on 13 and Perry there. So we've only had 6 overs, Henry Wallace, and the target is 82. So I don't think it's going to be a late night tonight.
Well, maybe after the game it might be a late night, but the captain is going to have her work cut out. Stephanie Taylor, it will not be a memorable 100th game for her.
Absolutely, and Australia really have been all over West Indies in this game, in particular, first with the ball.
And I think the real damaging thing for West Indies women is that even the good balls are producing at least a single.
Yes, I think a small total, and really the mindset of the Australian players is let's be very positive, get this over with as quickly as possible. They're not going to just stay up there for 20 overs and really having got the start that they've got. It's just very easy to keep ticking it over.
Yeah, the rate at which they scored in the power play was indeed very impressive.
White ball.
That's going to be a wide. Perry thought about it for a moment.
Yes, ball in left arm around the wicket, and let's have a look at this one. Yep, pitched inside, but finally went outside the blue line, so call a wide.
That one was marginal, very marginal indeed. And interesting with Stacey Ann King bowling around the wicket. She gets fairly close to the stumps, and I reckon she must be very close to running on that danger area as well in her follow through.
Yeah, that one just inside the line, but the concern for me is the lack of pace from.
You see, that's a good delivery. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But yet, the batters were able to pick up a comfortable single.
Yes, I mean, it's a fair delivery, but nicely just dropped on the offside. The response by the two batsmen is spot on. Just looked at each other, didn't even have to call, and recognized that there was an easy single there.
Misfield there, and that could be quite costly. Will she be able to get there in time? No. So another mistake in the field for the West Indies women.
Yeah, it's a nice shot, but really the fielder should have done better there. Let herself down badly there as the ball went straight to her, and the bowler will not be too happy because it brings another boundary and it brings Australia much closer to the target.
Yeah, just one hit away now for Australia women. Good delivery again from Stacey Ann King. So she finishes well. 2 overs to 15, and Australia women just 6 runs needed for victory, 1 wicket down.
Yes, and doing it nicely. Really, I think there's one delivery left in this over. And
Over.
just a single on that over. Now it's the end of the over. So 2 overs completed there for Stacey Ann King. So 77 for 1, 7 overs completed.
yes, and it's just really a matter of time. And really, before this innings has got going, it's going to be over. And really, West Indies will look back on this game and recognise that the performance with the bat was not a particularly good one. And then, obviously, having got a small score, Australia really have taken the game to them and put them under tremendous pressure. So West Indies finding it difficult to maintain the batsmen.
So, with the current run rate at 11 runs per over, it's unlikely the game will go past this over much. And I've just got an interesting stat here from our statistician. He has nothing to do, of course, you know. So
he does it really well.
Hard work, Chris, hard work.
He does nothing really well.
So it's going to be Ramarat coming into the attack on debut. Not a very exciting time to come in. You tend to feel a little bit sorry for her, unless she's going to get a hat trick.
Oh!
It's a good start and a comfortable single. Now, Butch, listen to this. If Australia win
Keep working, girls.
with more than 8.1 overs bowled, it will be the biggest victory, or the quickest victory by some margin of 71 balls. If the West Indies lose before 9.4 over, it will be the heaviest loss in terms of balls. Balls remaining, 62. That's going to go close to the boundary, but it's going to be cut off. So just another single.
Yes, and we're approaching that time, Hindi. So I think those stats provided there by
Keep working, Chris.
Mr.
Keep
Harold
working,
Eastman
keep working.
will be prophetic, Harold. You've obviously seen the future.
Okay, I think this could be it. Beautifully placed, inside out, over the cover, and I think that's game, set, and match. So that's it. So Harold has his predictions have come.
The future is
to
here.
fruition,
The
correct.
future is here. And comprehensive victory to Australia. And to finish it off, really lovely shot, use to the feet, straight back, over the infield, and picks up a boundary just to rub insult into injury there as West Indies lose this game for all the wrong reasons. And the players, West Indies players, gather to congratulate the Australians, first of all, and then I'm sure they will have a discussion amongst themselves as to what could have been. Well played, Australia.
Yeah, they've been totally outplayed, West Indies women, in all 3 facets of the game, and the Australian looks like a well-drilled outfit. And even with the changes that were made for this particular match, the 2 players coming in were able to really contribute significantly and to impress, let's put it that way. So be a disappointment for West Indies women as they march off now, and one would hope that they would learn from this experience as well.
Yeah, it's a tough lesson to learn. I think one thing they can take away from this series is, as they make their way off the field at the end of this 3-match series, and really West Indies would have hoped to have provided a little bit more competition for this strong Australian side. And first of all, Hendy, I think certainly the player of this match, and then player of the series will be a number of players will be in consideration.
Well, I think without getting any stats from Harold, it probably would be an Australian. But if we look at the scorecard here, just 1 wicket down. Healy just stopped scoring there with 38, and she really set the tone for what the Australian women would have hoped to chase down these runs. So the West Indies women obviously will be very despondent, and really nothing to report for. Nothing really to report for the West Indies women in the field. And to be fair, they never really got a chance to really settle. And you can see that the Australians are very pleased with their work. And we'll see some of the highlights of the Australian innings.
Yes, a powerful shot there by Healy, really picking the length and smashing that one over mid-wicket. This one now used to the feet and crashing this one through the offside for 4. And that was Healy. Lovely use of the feet over the infield once more. Another boundary. Taylor dragging this one down. It's hit over the cover point and brings up another boundary. And good delivery by Taylor, but gets the outside edge, and as things would happen, it goes to the boundary once more. Yep, full toss dispatched there for 6. That one was, and again Healy used to the feet. This is a much better shot. Lovely shot down the ground. She picks up another 6. And then Fletcher's delivery, this one again is smashed over the infield. It's going to bring her another boundary. And going for the cut, gets an outside edge. And Fletcher gets a wicket finally. And delight there for the West Indian field. Just the 1 wicket going down. Healy. And then this one, Mooney, over the infield on the onside, picking up a boundary there. Positive shot. And this is a full toss, good shot. And the fielder struggling there at mid-on. Another boundary. Australia dealing in boundaries at this stage. Fletcher, full toss. This one, that gets the treatment as well, over deep mid-wicket. And then Perry just off the back foot. This is a lovely shot. Good use of the feet. Then rocking back and playing it off the back foot. And then Mooney flicking this one away again. Not the best of fielding once more. And brings up another boundary. And then this last one to finish the game. Beautiful use of the feet once more. And driving the ball over the infield. And brings up the victory for Australia.
So nothing really to shout about for the West Indies women. Really, they were never allowed to settle. As you can see, the first 3 bowlers just having, at one stage, the 5 bowlers had 1 over each. So never really allowed to settle. And the power play was a very productive one for the Australia women. So the match in summary, West Indies women, 81 all out on the last ball of the 20th over. And that's West Indies women, and Australia women racing to victory in just 7.3 overs. 7 overs and 3 balls. Healy being the top scorer with a very aggressive 38. And Beth Mooney, 24 not out, along with Elisa Perry. So Australia women winning by 9 wickets.
Yes, and deservedly so. The Australians now, they decided they're going to play some Australian rules football just before the ceremony as part of their warm down. And I think they certainly would have enjoyed these 3 matches here, Andy. I think the pitches were good and perhaps suited to their players. And suited to their play. And
Will there be a lot of soul searching there for the West Indies women? Yeah. You would expect that the Australian women will be very happy with their returns.
Yes,
Is that Velmick, who impressed us with her pace. So I think she would have been delighted to get an outing, especially on this pitch. She would have heard about the pitch at Barbados being helpful to fast bowling. So the leading run scorers in the tournament, Lisa Healy with 108 runs and Meg Lanning with 76. Brittney Cooper, who really impressed us in this game and the last one, made 68. And Stephanie Taylor, 56. Normally you expect her to be well up there with the top scorers. And Beth Mooney, this match was really the one that she really got a bit of a score, and she was next in line.
Yes, and just delight there on the faces of the Australians, and they play some pretty good cricket. And have you ever played Aussie rules, Mendy?
I did a little bit when I was in Sydney, but I don't think that the cricket president was too impressed when the rugby boys took me out for a bit to play a little bit of Australian rules.
And yes, and the West Indians, not all smiles, certainly at the end of this series. They would know that they didn't play their best, and the runs really was a problem for them. When you look at the batting charts there, the fifth highest run score in this series was 36.
Well, there's the happy captain, and didn't even have to bat tonight. But I think she is pretty happy with her form. And you just got the impression, too, that the Australian may use this particular game to try and share the workload around, give a few more players the opportunity. I suspect if they had won the toss, they probably would have wanted to have a bat to see, if they could spread it around a bit. But in the field, they were very efficient. The workload was shared around, and the two changes came in, and they got a fair work over as well. So I think they'd be fairly satisfied with their work, with the efforts in this T20 tournament.
Yes, I think so. I think the West Indies they certainly surprised me by actually batting, especially the way they've been batting in the series. They've been struggling. You would have thought that they would have given the bowlers a bit of a run out and see what could have happened. But obviously they chose to bat first, and we saw exactly what happened. From the first game, the score have got less and less. So disappointment in that area, and
well, I suppose that in winning the toss and batting may have been a bit of a concession as well by West Indies women. They didn't want to be out chasing leather for 20 overs.
Well, I mean, that's probably not a bad thing if you're actually chasing leather, because you can learn something about your bowlers then. That if there is a bit flying around, who's going to stand up and put their bat to the grind. But at the same time, I can't really see the reason for batting first.
And it could be battle weary as well. I mean, they've been under the cosh quite a bit in this series, and I think something we should keep reminding our viewers is that the West Indies women have been severely depleted and not having at least 3 of their key players for this series, and for this match 2 other regulars that were out injured for this game. So I think if we're brutally honest, the depth of women's cricket is not that great to have what you would consider to be adequate replacements. No disrespect to the players coming in. But if you draw a comparison with the players that they're replacing, and to make it even more ridiculous, to compare with the Australians, you know, it's really chalk and cheese.
Yeah. Yes, and Jonansson really, she's finished with 7 wickets. I thought she was outstanding tonight, Jess. With her figures of 4 for 7, and Schutz got 6. Wirram for just the one West Indian. Fletcher with 3 wickets, and Kaminsi with 2. So really, very disappointing performance there by the West Indian bowlers. Fletcher just figuring, the only one figuring in the 5 with 3 wickets, and I thought Wirram was good tonight as well, Andy.
Yeah, and but you know, Valmink didn't really get any wickets tonight, but she impressed us all. But please stay tuned for the post-match ceremony. We're just waiting for them to get things in place. Here's the CEO of the Barbados Cricket Association. So there's Chanel Henry as well, who didn't play in this game.
And the president of the BCA, Conde Riley, also in discussion.
Yes, the BCA president retained the post of president, defeating our icon, Joel Big Bird Garner. There was a caption in the local paper where they said that Conde Riley was able to do something that many batsmen were not able to do.
To keep the bird's Yorker out.
Nobody told me, but it's Elisa Healy.
No, Jonan.
Oh, Jonathan. Yeah.
She got 4 for 7. Andy,
So the warm down continues.
Well, I spoke to Steve when he said he had it covered.
So just stay tuned for the post-match ceremony. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. Right, so we're getting ready for the post-match ceremony. The Australians they're obviously enjoying their break. So it's over to Barry.
Welcome to the presentation ceremony. Congratulations again to the Australians. They have won this three-match series 3-0, and they have done a great job also winning the ODI series 3-0 as well. I'm going to talk first of all to the losing captain. It happens to be Stefanie Taylor from the West Indies. Stefanie, unfortunately, your 100th T20, but not well celebrated because of the defeat.
Yeah, not how I, wanted it today. I think for me, I feel like I was thinking about it too much, and yeah, I put myself under a bit of pressure there. I was really feeling it today, but yeah, I think more that I was thinking about it too much and get a bit flustered.
Clean sweep for the Aussies against the West Indies in T20 and 50 over. What do you think really went wrong for the West Indies this season?
Well, if you look at our team, we don't have our full strength, and to be up against an Australia team that's in really good form, I believe that you need your good team, and I think for us we didn't have that. But with saying that, I feel like the team that I have with young players in it, the young players stand out. They did really well, and it's good to see that we have some young players coming through, and seeing that World Cup is just around the corner. It's good for the selectors to have a look in.
You have a month's rest, and then you play India in similar 50 over and T20 series. Do you think you'll have back Healy Matthews and also Deandra Dottin and some of the other players who have been injured for that series?
Well, I'm not sure what would be what in the next week or 2 weeks, but I'm really hoping that at least most of those players will be back.
All right, well, I wish you all the best in the future, and the women, of course, at the World Cup coming up.
Thank you.
That's Stefanie Taylor, of course, is the captain of the women's team. We have the Player of the Match award, and that award tonight goes to Johansson for a fantastic 4-wicket haul. She really bowled well. That is going to be presented by Dr. Roland Toppin, who is, of course, the CEO of the Barbados Cricket Association. Congratulations to you. 4 for 7 career best figures. She really spun a web tonight around the West Indies women. How do you find the conditions here tonight?
Yeah, it was actually a little bit cooler out there tonight, which was nice, and the wicket sort of had a little bit of spin in it, which was also nice being a spin bowler.
In terms of the series overall, Australia dominated. Did you find that the wickets were suitable to what bowlers that you had here?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're really proud of the way that we finished the series. That was something that we haven't really been able to do in the past, but in recent times we have, which has been really pleasing. And yeah, sort of the way that the bowlers have really sort of done the job, and then just sort of set it up for the batters, particularly in this T20 series, has been really nice.
All right, well, congratulations on your performance tonight.
Thank you very much.
Jess Johansson getting 4 for 7 match-winning performance to win the Player of the Match award. All right, we now have the Player of the Series award, and this award goes to Alyssa Healy. What a spectacular series she's had. 2 half-centuries in 3 matches. She's going to get her award from Conde Riley, who is the president of the Barbados Cricket Association. Alyssa Healy, congratulations for your wonderful performance. Second time I'm speaking to you. Alyssa, again, a very good performance overall. What has been the secret to Alyssa Healy's success this tournament?
I'm not too sure. I think we've had fantastic facilities to play on. It's a pleasure coming here to Kensington Oval and playing on a ground like this that we've had success on in the past. So I've really enjoyed that, and our bowlers have done a tremendous job all series and given us some low totals to chase, and it's given me the freedom to just go out there and play my normal game.
I'm curious to know if you play a lot of cricket against male cricketers as well, because you bat so confidently and aggressively. I just get the feeling that, does Mitch bowl a couple at you in the nets?
No, not so much anymore. I haven't played with the boys since I was about 16, but no, it's just the way that cricket's moving in our country. We're fully professional, and that's just driving the standards higher and higher each and every year. So this team's in a really good place at the moment, and I've got no doubt that the next generation coming through are going to be even better.
All right, well, Alyssa, congratulations as the Player of the Series. Well done.
Thank you.
That's Lisa Healy, the player of the series. Congratulations to her. It gives me great pleasure now to talk to Meg Lanning. Meg, of course, is the captain and the winning captain, winning, of course, the T20 series 3-0. Meg Lanning, congratulations. We've got this very well secured tonight. It's stapled, so you're good to go. No need to fear. Meg, look, congratulations. You outplayed the West Indies. How was the preparation for this series, and how did you find the series generally?
Yeah, we really enjoyed our time here in the Caribbean. We enjoyed playing against the West Indies, and I thought our leading was really good. We had a week here before we played our first game just to acclimatise to the conditions, and I thought that worked really well. So overall, a very pleasing series for us.
You're at home for the World Cup next year. How are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's a home World Cup. Those opportunities don't come along very often, so got a little bit of cricket to play between then, but this series has been a good stepping stone, I guess, to working out how we want to play, and it's nice that we've been able to dominate throughout the series.
What are some of the positives that you would take away from this particular series?
I think our bowlers have done a great job throughout. They've been able to keep things tight but also take wickets, and I mean, especially in T20 cricket, I think wickets are really important. So everyone chipped in at different times, and it was nice to finish off as well with the bat today. Pretty dominant there from Elisa Healy and Mooney and Perry there at the end.
And before the World Cup, what's the next assignment for Australia women?
We go back home and play Sri Lanka pretty quickly in a home series, which we're looking forward to, and then we've got our domestic summer and a tri-series with England and India as well. So we've got a lot of cricket to play before the World Cup, so important that we keep improving and getting our game style, as we would like it.
Meg Lanning, congratulations. You're going to receive your trophy now from Conde Riley, president of the BCA, and I'm sure that your other teammates that want to partake. Congratulations to the Australian women winning this T20 series 3-0 and taking back the trophy down under. So thank you so much to Meg Lanning, to Stephanie Taylor, and of course to all of the West Indies women and the Australian women. It's been a great series. Let's head on back upstairs as the guys close it off for another series.
Yes, thank you very much, Barry. Well, there we have it, the match summary. West Indies women all out for 81, off the last delivery of the 20 overs, and the Australia women romping to victory, 83 for 1 of 7 overs and 3 balls, led admirably by Lisa Healy, the player of the series, with Mooney and Perry bringing it up. So a comprehensive victory for the Australian women by 9 wickets and a clean sweep of the series. So we want to thank you for joining us, and do join us in November when the West Indies women will be in a home series against India women starting November 1. So thank you for joining us, and do have a pleasant evening.